Hey everybody, Abe Brown with Certified Flourishing Coaching. In our last video, we started talking about this idea of replacement for fear. And I kind of shared the crazy idea that maybe we should invite fear in. Do you know what I'm saying? That we shouldn't fear the fear, in the sense of being terrified that we might be afraid. If you're feeling anxiety, you're feeling stress, you're feeling fear, you're normal, you're human, it's all good. But in the same way that you'd invite a friend in and you would learn the lesson that that friend wants to teach you, but you wouldn't necessarily allow that friend to take over, that's what you want to do with fear. Now, I heard a great definition of fear. It's a simple one. It uses an acrostic. It's FEAR, false evidence appearing real. What does this mean? This means that there is legitimate fear, and then there's illegitimate fear. In other words, there's fear that does help you, but then there's fear that does not help you. You see, these two types of fear are really important to understand. There's sort of that healthy, rational fear, where, hey, maybe there's a car coming at you and you feel afraid and you jump out of the way. But then there's this irrational fear. It's where something gets lodged into your system and you can't seem to master it. It actually masters you. Robin Sharma said fear is nothing more than a mental monster that you've created. It's a negative stream of consciousness. Now, I don't know if I totally believe that because, like I said, there's good fear and there's bad fear. But I'll tell you, I have seen people who allow their fear to absolutely dominate. It literally becomes a mental monster that they create, and that is not good. Like Franklin Roosevelt said, literally, decades ago, he said, the only thing we need to fear is fear itself. What does that mean? That means that nameless, unjustified, irrational fear that takes over, we need to be very careful about, because that kind of fear will absolutely paralyze us. And so I want to give you a quick tip to help you to understand how you can manage your fear. Last time I gave you a quick tip, invite your fear in. The second tip that I want to give you here today is understand that fear is a natural and normal response that will often keep you alive. But what you've got to do, and here's the second tip, is you've got to calibrate your fear to the facts. You see, a lot of people, you can see this with COVID-19, they've completely lost their minds, okay, just to be honest with you. They haven't actually calibrated the fear that they're feeling to the facts and the data as it's presented. And of course, what's happened is they've become the victim of an amygdala hijack. We need to step out of irrational fear into rational fear. We need to step out of unhealthy fear and do healthy fear with healthy risk analysis that's tethered to facts and data rather than irrationality and something that's actually going to hurt us. So, hey, tune in to our next video that's going to continue this whole idea of the replacement for fear.